You're sitting in a waiting room. You already feel terrible. And now, on top of feeling sick, a new fear starts creeping in. What if the doctor asks something and you don't understand? What if you can't explain what's actually wrong?
Your name gets called. You walk in. The doctor asks, "So, what's going on today?" And your mind, already tired and worried, suddenly can't find a single clear English word.
That moment is scary enough when you're healthy. When you're actually unwell, it feels almost unbearable. And today, we are going to make sure that fear never controls you again.
By the end of this episode, you will have the exact words to describe how you feel, understand what your doctor is asking, and even ask for clarity when medical language feels confusing.
But before we go any further, if this fear feels familiar to you, even a little, please do one thing for us right now. Hit subscribe and hit like. Not as a favor, but because this exact moment, feeling sick and unheard, is precisely why this channel exists.
Welcome to Real English Flow. I'm Mark.
And I'm Anna. Stay with us until the very end, because the final phrase we share today could completely change how your next doctor's visit feels.
Enna, I have to be honest. This topic makes me nervous just talking about it. I remember going to a clinic once, feeling awful, and just pointing at my stomach because I couldn't find the words.
That happens to so many learners, Mark, and it's completely understandable. When you're unwell, your brain is already under stress. Adding a language barrier on top of that can feel overwhelming, even frightening.
Here's the promise for today. By the end of this episode, you will have simple, clear phrases ready. So the next time you're not feeling well, you won't have to point, guess, or panic. You'll know exactly what to say.
Before we continue, tell us honestly in the comments, have you ever struggled to explain a symptom in English or misunderstood something a doctor said? You are absolutely not alone, and today we fix that together.
And if you've ever avoided going to the doctor or brought someone else along just to translate for you out of fear of this exact moment, this episode is especially for you.
Let's take that fear apart, one clear phrase at a time. Let's start with the simplest, most useful structure in this whole topic. For most physical pain, English uses the pattern, my body part hurts, or I have a symptom.
So if my head hurts, I just say my head hurts?
Exactly. Simple, direct, and completely natural. Same with my stomach hurts, my back hurts, my throat hurts. No extra words needed.
And for something like a headache specifically?
Then you'd use the second pattern. I have a headache. I have a fever. I have a sore throat. Both patterns are common, and native speakers switch between them naturally. Picture the scene. The waiting room is quiet except for a soft cough somewhere behind you. The smell of hand sanitizer is everywhere. Your name is finally called, and a nurse asks, "What brings you in today?"
That question always throws me off a little. It doesn't sound like a typical question about being sick.
Good catch. What brings you in today simply means what's the reason for your visit. It's a common, friendly way doctors and nurses open the conversation. You can answer directly, "I've had a bad headache since yesterday," or "My throat's been hurting for a few days."
I've had a bad headache since yesterday. My throat's been hurting for a few days. Those feel much more natural than what I usually say.
Part 3. The mistake moment. Mark, if your stomach was hurting badly, what would you normally say to a doctor?
Honestly, I think I'd say I have pain in my stomach since 3 days.
Oh, Mark, 2 small things there, and they're both very common mistakes. First, we usually say, "My stomach hurts," or "I have a stomach ache," rather than "I have pain in my stomach." Second, since 3 days isn't correct. Since needs a specific point in time, like since Monday, while a length of time uses for, like for 3 days.
So it should be, my stomach's been hurting for 3 days?
Exactly right. Can you try this right now? Say out loud, "My stomach's been hurting for 3 days." Now, let's flip it around, understanding what the doctor asks you. Some of the most common questions are, "How long have you had this? Is the pain sharp or dull? And does anything make it better or worse?" Sharp or dull always confuses me a little. That's simply asking if the pain feels sudden and intense, like a sharp poke, or more like a constant, heavy ache, which is dull. You could answer, "It's more of a dull ache," or "It's pretty sharp, actually." Today's upgrade word is since. Specifically, how it's used correctly with time, which is exactly where many learners get stuck at the doctor's office.
This is exactly the mistake I just made a minute ago.
Right. And here's the clear rule. Use since with a specific starting point. Since Monday, since this morning, since last week. Use for with a length of time. For 2 days, for a week, for a few hours.
So, since yesterday and for 1 day actually describe almost the same thing, just from 2 different angles.
Exactly. Here are 2 example sentences. 1. I've had this cough since Tuesday. 2. I've had this cough for about 4 days.
I've had this cough since Tuesday. I've had this cough for about 4 days. Both feel natural now that I hear the difference clearly. Try using since in your own sentence right now. Say it out loud, describing a real symptom and exactly when it started. Part 2, formal versus informal, plus say it with me. At the front desk, the tone is usually more casual. I have a 2 o'clock appointment. With the doctor directly, it's a little more careful and clear. I'd like to talk to you about a headache I've been having. That distinction actually helps. I always assumed the whole visit needed the same formal tone. Let's practice 3 key phrases together. First slow, then at natural speed. Then it's your turn. Phrase 1, slow. I've had this headache since yesterday. Now natural speed. I've had this headache since yesterday. Now you say it. Pause.
Try it out loud, right now. Phrase 2. Slow. My stomach's been hurting for a few days. Now, natural speed. My stomach's been hurting for a few days. Now you say it. Pause. Try it. Phrase 3. Slow. Sorry. Could you explain what that means? Now, natural speed. Sorry, could you explain what that means? Now you say it. Pause. Try it out loud, right now. Don't worry about sounding perfect. These 3 phrases alone can carry you through almost any doctor's visit calmly. Section 4. 4 common mistakes fixed. Even people who've studied English for years make these exact mistakes at the doctor's office, simply because nobody ever taught this specific vocabulary clearly. Let's fix 4 of them. Mistake 1. I have pain in my stomach.
Wrong.
I have pain in my stomach. Right. My stomach hurts, or I have a stomachache. Why? I have pain in my stomach is understandable, but it sounds stiff and translated. Native speakers naturally say hurts or use a compact word like stomachache, headache, or backache. Mistake 2. Since 3 days. Wrong. I've had this since 3 days. Right. I've had this for 3 days, or since Monday. Why? Since always pairs with a specific starting point in time, while for pairs with a length or duration. Mixing them up is one of the most common mistakes at the doctor's office worldwide.
Mistake 3. I feel bad.
Wrong. I feel bad used to describe a physical symptom.
Right. I feel dizzy. I feel nauseous. Or I feel really tired.
Why? I feel bad is extremely vague, and it can even sound like you feel guilty about something, rather than physically unwell. Being specific helps the doctor actually understand and help you faster. Mistake 4. Staying silent when confused.
Wrong. Nodding along even when you don't understand a medical word.
Right. Sorry, could you explain what that means? Why? Medical words can be confusing even for native speakers. Asking for a simple explanation is completely normal, expected, and never seen as a weakness. It's actually what good patients do. And I want to say this clearly. Making these mistakes doesn't mean you did anything wrong. Medical English is its own specific skill, separate from everyday conversation.
Exactly. If this episode is easing a fear you've carried for a while, please subscribe to Real English Flow right now and share it with someone who might need this exact confidence before their next appointment. Time to practice together. I'll give you a real doctor's office situation. There are 2 options, A and B. Say your choice out loud before Enna gives the answer. Situation 1. The doctor asks, "What brings you in today?" and your throat has hurt for 2 days. Option A.
I have pain in my throat since 2 days. Option B. My throat's been hurting for 2 days. The answer is B. It uses the correct for with duration and sounds completely natural to a native speaker. Situation 2. The doctor uses a medical word you've never heard before.
Option A. Nod and stay quiet, hoping to understand later.
Option B. Sorry, could you explain what that means?
The answer is B. Asking for clarity is normal, expected, and far safer than pretending to understand something about your own health.
Situation 3. The doctor asks if the pain started recently or a while ago, and it started last Monday. Option A. Since Monday. Option B. For Monday.
The answer is A. Monday is a specific starting point, so since is the correct choice here.
You feel dizzy and a little sick to your stomach, and the doctor asks how you feel.
Option A. I feel bad.
Option B. I feel dizzy and a bit nauseous.
The answer is B. It's specific, clear, and gives the doctor exactly what they need to actually help you.
Now it's your turn. Write your own sentence describing a symptom in the comments below using today's word since.
Okay, let's bring everything together, because this fear deserves a real, calm ending.
Number 1. Describe symptoms simply with my body part hurts or I have a symptom instead of stiff, translated phrases.
Number 2. Remember the difference between since for a specific starting point and for a length of time. That one small rule fixes one of the most common mistakes in this entire topic.
Number 3. Be specific about how you feel and never be afraid to ask, "Sorry, could you explain what that means?" That question alone can protect your health and your confidence at the same time.
And here's the phrase that changes everything. The one we promised at the very start. Before you even describe your symptoms, you can say, "My English isn't perfect, so please feel free to explain things simply." Doctors hear this far more often than you'd expect, and almost every single one will slow down and help you immediately. That one sentence alone could remove so much pressure before the conversation even really starts. Write one sentence describing a symptom using today's word since in the comments below. We will reply to every single comment. If this episode eased a fear you've carried for a while, please subscribe to Real English Flow. Share it with someone who needs this confidence, and click like. It genuinely helps us reach more learners who feel exactly like you did before this video. Next episode, we're covering something just as important: English for the pharmacy, and understanding prescription instructions without confusion. You will not want to miss it. See you next time on Real English Flow. Keep flowing, and remember, you always have the right to ask for clarity. Bye, everyone.